What's up, guys? Today I wanted to get a little bit personal with you, allow you to know me a little bit better, my fitness journey, my life journey, how I got to where I am now, and where I'm trying to go. So I just kind of want to start with my fitness journey a little bit and kind of tell you guys how I got into fitness and why I am as addicted as I am now, essentially. So I guess it all started back when I graduated high school, my senior year. We just finished graduating 2020, COVID year. But so I threw like this little house party, and it was my parents were out of town. They were camping and stuff like that. So I had the house. I had a whole bunch of my buddies come over who were football players. We were all athletes in high school and stuff like that. But but yeah, so we all ended up doing like this little wrestling tournament in my living room, and let's just say I got my ass kicked pretty bad by friends as well in high school. And the next week I had bruises, welts, and I was a really skinny dude. I'll show pictures at the end of this video. I'll have them pop up, kind of like show you guys what I look like in high school, what I look like at the beginning of my lifting journey, and then what I look like now. But yeah, so like that right there made me realize that like I I I probably would not stand well against anybody in a fight. I wouldn't have hardly any self-defense or anything like that. So like I wanted to do something to help myself in future situations like that. So like I worked as a bag boy or cart boy like at Kroger at the time, my senior year. And one of my coworkers who was a cashier, who is now my best friend and also my bodybuilding coach, Andrew, he he had a very good physique at that age, and he was the same grade as me. We're the same age, and he was pretty fucking huge. Like I wasn't friends with him, or any of his friends. Like we were in totally different cliques and stuff like that in high school. Like hardly ever talked to each other. The only time I ever talked to him prior to me going up to him that day asking him if I could lift with him was like fifth grade, all the way back when him and I played flag football together. But yeah, I went up to him. I was like, hey, you look like you know what you're doing, man. I would love to get a lift in with you. Kind of like, because I do want to start this fitness journey. I do want to get bigger. And looking at you, you obviously know what you're doing. And I want to be part of that journey. And taking a sidestep from my story here, I think it's very, very important starting out your fitness journey to have like a mentor or like a guide or somebody who has been doing it, knows what they're doing, and clearly knows what they're doing. Like there's guys out there who don't really know what they're doing and claim to know what they're doing, and then there's guys out there who like actually know what they're doing and will help you train right. Because I've known people in the past who do have decent bodies and stuff like that, but like they don't train right in my perspective, and also Andrew, my coach's perspective, who is a bodybuilder. He is a professional bodybuilder. He's got his pro card. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like I kind of I want you guys to set yourself up for success, especially like just so that way you're not nervous going into it, and even if you are nervous, you have that mentor at the beginning that will help you get through the early learning stages, that learning curve and stuff like that, so that once you do get comfortable and you do build that muscle memory and you know what you're doing in the gym, now you're more confident to go into public atmospheres, public gyms, and get your workout done and stuff like that, instead of being scared or nervous or using that as an excuse not to do anything. And even if you are like have social anxiety at that point, like the things that I will eventually post down the line will also be things that you could do at home. But I definitely highly recommend you getting that mentor to start, just because that will make a world of a difference, and it will really, really accelerate that learning curve and that learning process, so that you can get to the point to where I'm at, to where I can walk into any public gym anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world and feel confident in my ability to get a good lift in, take a pump cover off, and look good, and like just go about my day. Which that's another thing that I eventually want to touch into in this video as well, is self-confidence. Because I know that's something that every single person struggles with. It don't matter who you are or who you portray yourself to be. Every single person struggles with it. So that's one thing where I struggle with it still. Like I can relate to you on that in an absurd amount of levels. But and you'll see, especially when you see my pictures from high school and then my first year of lifting and then me now, and I'll just say, like, confidence gets better. It does. Confidence gets higher. You get more comfortable in your own skin, and you feel like you can approach more people and do stuff like that. But I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, like, how big you get, or even if you get to the point that I'm at now, that little shy, that you're not being confident enough in yourself, that's always there. It's always there. By the smart year, it's always there. And quite frankly, it just gets worse the bigger you get, but that's what also motivates you to get even bigger. But yeah, back to my story though. So I approached him in Kroger that day, and just said, hey, I would love to get a lift in with you, kind of have you show me the ropes, see what I need to do to get to what you look like. And that's where the story began. So next day, I think him and I met in, because we had both graduated high school same year, so we were all still living in our parents' houses. But him and I met in his parents' basement where he had his own home gym. He wasn't even lifting in public gyms at that time, and he put me through one of the most brutal leg days for the first day. Like, I was sitting there thinking I was gonna work up. No, brutal leg day. Like, the first thing we did was like a Ronnie Coleman. If you don't know who that is, look him up. But like, lightweight baby, like, yeah, but we did like one of his days. I believe that's who it was, but or maybe it was a Tom Platz. But like, we did like 5x20 back squat, and we just absolutely destroyed our legs. By the end of the week, I was meeting some of my other buddies from high school to go out to a party that week, and I almost canceled. I couldn't. I had to take an ice bath and a freaking Epsom salt bath. I was that sore from head to toe. Like, it was ridiculous. But yeah, but me being that sore also was like, Andrew preached to me that was a good sign, because I'm training the muscles and I'm training them the right way. And there's a reason why I'm sore, because it's all those muscle fibers being torn and healing. So that was it was a brutal first week, but I'm glad that I stuck with it, because I was confident in him being my coach essentially at that time to guide me to where he was already at. And sure enough, he did, and we've taken hundreds of steps since then, like huge steps since then, to where I'm probably 10 months out of my first bodybuilding show, and he's possibly 10 months out of his third bodybuilding show. But yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things where I definitely think it's huge to have that mentor, because that mentor, going back to that, it really, really helps you get into the fitness industry. It helps you to break that social anxiety barrier to get into public gyms, and it helps you make progress, which is the biggest thing. Make progress. Like, that's what we all want. And when we don't see it quick enough, or we're not happy with how we're looking after a week and a half or whatever, like, it sucks. It sucks, and that's where a lot of people lose motivation. Because I'm pretty sure, like, I just saw this post or something like that, like a couple hours ago on my feed, but I think like January 14th or something like that. It's got to be like 2 weeks into the new year, where it's like Quitter's Day or something is what it's called, and it's like everybody who has those New Year's resolutions, and like that's just the day that everybody kind of falls off those New Year's resolutions and just goes back to what they were doing prior to the new year. And it's like, don't quote me on it, but I definitely think that it's I'm pretty sure that's what it's so called, is like January 14th, or it's like 2 weeks into the year or somewhere around that time area. But yeah, and that's the last thing that I want for any of you. I want all of us to be able to look back January 14th, even January 14th, and say you guys started this new journey with me or with somebody else on January 1st, and you're like, holy shit, like, it's only been 14 days and I feel so much better, and I want to keep going. I'm hungry for more. And that is the thing that I'm looking for out of all of you. But yeah, so it's like, especially training with a mentor and somebody that's showing you how to get it done. Like, I definitely think that yeah, that would help you guys out X amount of times, like tremendously. Going into kind of transitioning into the inner confidence part now, though, too, that comes from just you growing up and you, I guess, getting more comfortable with yourself. So, like, you'll see the pictures and you could tell right off the rip that I have no inner confidence, no confidence whatsoever from the pictures from high school and possibly even the pictures from my first year of lifting. But like, I've definitely grown into my body, I've grown into my face, I've grown into everything like that. But yeah, like, it comes from being comfortable in your own skin to start, is what I personally believe. Because, like, that being comfortable with yourself, you're not afraid, essentially, of rejection at that point. Because if you do get rejected, you're like, oh, well, I still got myself. Myself will always be there. I'll always be there for myself. So then you move on to the next. But, like, yeah, it simply comes from that. I think that just being comfortable in your own body and being comfortable with yourself it really grows that self-confidence exponentially. Like, I just met a kid yesterday, or, well, I've known him for a minute, but, like, I completely forgot because I haven't talked to him in a minute. And he was telling me about how it's honestly difficult for him to cut and to eat and to continue to build muscle or do anything like this. And I'll tell you why, which honestly, like, I don't blame him. Like, it sucks to hear that, and I want to keep motivating him. But, like, this kid started off his fitness journey at 260 pounds, and he's no taller than, like, 5'6". Like, 260 pounds, fat as hell. And, like, he was able to cut all the way down to 105 pounds. He cut off 155 pounds. And now he tells me, like he's got abs and, like, and stuff like that. Yeah, he's still got loose skin from when he was that way, which that comes with it. Like, there's things that you could take and stuff like that to minimize that, but essentially that's always going to be there unless you get, like, surgery or you hop on steroids or something like that. But yeah, he looks great. He's got abs too, and he's like, it's so hard for me to continue to cut or want to build muscle because, like, I've got everything that I've ever wanted from this fitness journey now. Now that I'm down to a weight, which I think he said he's at, like, 140 now. Like, he cut all the way down, got really skinny, and then he built muscle back up. But like, yeah, he's like, I've got a girlfriend now. I've got a nice place. I'm very happy with myself. I'm happy with my whole life in general. And he's like, it's hard for me to want to continue this because I'm just so happy with where I'm at. And it's like, I completely understand that. And, like, I guess you could see down the line, but it's one of those things where I'm just like, hey, you just got to keep, even when you're comfortable, you got to keep pushing, because progress is made in areas that you're most uncomfortable. So that's basically where it's like, if you're comfortable, then you're simply just not going to have that urgency or that drive to be better or to look better or to make more money or to do anything like that along those lines. So it's one of those things where, like, I'm very happy for the kid. I'm very happy. But, like, I was preaching on. I was like, hey, just keep pushing, keep pushing. You never want to be comfortable or happy, because once you get comfortable and happy, that's when things start to crumble and fall apart. But yeah. So back to the whole inner confidence. It's just about being confident in your own skin. You can see how comfortable that kid is now, which it's great. I just really I'm trying to push him, knowing him, and I've been coaching him a little bit here and there too, just to, like, keep pushing, because, like, even if you're comfortable and everything's great right now, like, it's not going to stay that way if you decide that you don't need to put in any more work because you've gotten to where you are happy. Because once you stop putting in work, then things start to crumble and fall apart, and there goes all the progress you made. So you got to stay hungry, keep pushing, keep working, no matter how comfortable and how happy you get, because it takes hard work and effort to build the life that you want and you enjoy. And that's where I'm at right now. That's where he's at right now. But, like, it's yeah, it's just one of those things where I definitely believe that progress is made in uncomfortable environments, and you got to keep that unfamiliarity and uncomfortableness to keep making progress. But yeah, so like that's kind of like where I'm at. I would say that's how I started, and how I got to where I am right now is just I've just been training with Andrew, who's my coach and my best friend for 4 years now, because my journey started in 2020, and it's I'm up 70 pounds from where I was, because I started at 6'5", 150 pounds graduating high school, and now I'm 6'5", 220 pounds. So it's 70 pounds in 4 years. I still feel like that's good progress. It's good progress, and it's just eating and it's training right. And every single one of you, no matter if you're starting scrawny like I did, or if you're starting a little bit bigger of a person and then you need to go on a calorie deficit and still train the same way that I did, like the progress, as long as you stay consistent and you've got a mentor, like that is progress is going to happen. You're going to see the progress, and you would have myself or somebody pushing you and being there in your corner the whole entire time, holding you accountable. And with that alone, like progress is going to be made, because you are staying consistent. You have somebody keeping you on your path, holding you accountable, so you can't veer off of that path. And it's as simple as that, where like you have what you need in that mentor to keep you going. And that's what was able to keep me going, because even being as scrawny and as skinny as I was, I had him pushing me. I had Andrew pushing me and holding me accountable. And I felt like if I were to skip a lift, I'd be letting him down and myself down. And I thought that every single morning when I woke up sore, and I was like, dude, I really don't want to lift today. I don't want to go over there and lift today. But I was like, if I do, then if I do skip and don't go over there and lift, I will be playing into exactly who he thought I was, which he's told me many times. When I first asked him to lift, his first impression was, this guy's gonna get one lift in with me, he's gonna hate it, and he's never gonna want to lift again. And he's told me that many times down the line, and I just think it's hilarious, because it's like I knew, like in my head, and I could feel too, like he had no confidence in me continuing that journey with him or for myself. And I did, because I didn't want to let him down. I didn't want to play into his impression of me and his perspective of me. And I definitely did not want to continue to be the same person that I had been throughout high school. So that alone, just not wanting to play into someone else's perspective of you or letting yourself down, I think are the two biggest things that will drive you to the point that you are going to be where I'm at, and you're going to be like, holy shit, the progress I've made is fucking insane, and I'm hungry for more. I just want to keep going. I want to keep going. And yeah, so like now that I've touched on my journey a little bit and building inner confidence a little bit, like I think my main goal coming from this channel is like I like, and this will be uncut, this is my first take, and obviously I've started and I've said and like I'm not good at speaking on camera, because I'm starting this content journey just like you guys are hopefully starting the fitness journey and life journey. And like that's the thing where I want to kind of relate to you guys on this as well, because it's like, hey, we're both starting something at the same time together, and I want to be consistent, and I also want you guys to be consistent. So hey, if we can work together, especially to hold each other accountable and be consistent, holy shit, guys, the progress we're going to make in 2025 is going to be insane. It's going to be insane. We're going to look back at this time next year, and we're going to be like, wow, that video changed my life. And it'll be coming out of my mouth. It'll be coming out of your guys' mouth. It'll be insane. But yeah, so it's like, it's those things where like my goal too is obviously that. And like, I want to be a life coach. I want to be an inner confidence coach. I want to be a fitness coach. I kind of just want to be that person in your corner that like keeps you going. And if I'm not, I want to motivate you to find that person who you know could be in your corner, and it keeps you going and keeps you consistent. Because like it's all about being held accountable, and that's the biggest thing that I've taken from any journey that I've been on, or just talking to people who are successful. I live with a roommate who is successful, and like the biggest things that I've taken away from people who are successful is either their drive and grind to be the best, or them saying that, hey, I had somebody there telling me, like holding me accountable, and on the days that I was down and was like thinking about quitting, they were like calling me a pussy and stuff like that, and like yeah, and just telling me to stop being the B word and stuff. And it's just like, you know, that's the biggest thing. It's just accountability and perseverance. And I think with a mentor and a person like myself, or like in your corner, could help you get to that next level. And I really hope to see a lot of you guys who interact with this video at this time next year, and hopefully we could share our journeys, and hopefully we're all successful together. And that would just be the biggest fucking thing. That would be the biggest thing. That'd be the biggest life-changing thing for me. And like I really hope that I could like react to this video this time next year and be wow, and just be amazed by the journey that we have taken together. But that's all I really got for you guys right now, and I'm gonna continue to film and post consistently. I think my next few videos, I do want to kind of touch into how to start training, especially if you don't have a mentor, or like finding a mentor who knows how to get you going. And that's what I'll touch into next video. Like most of my videos are going to come in public gyms, because I lift in mainly public gyms. But yeah, and you'll see the movements I do and the machines that I use and the weights that I use. And yeah, and it'll kind of show you how to start if you want to start by yourself. But like it also kind of show you what to look for, and what a trainer or a personal mentor will have you start your fitness journey or life journey doing in the gym, kind of hand in hand, I would say. What that person would have you starting off with, which would be the controlled machine movements, which control your path of motion. But yeah, other than that, yeah, hey, I'm glad that I could get a little bit personal with you guys, talk to you. I'm just as nervous starting this journey as you are probably starting yours. So I'm happy I could get that off my chest and get a little bit personal with you guys. And hey, I hope to see you this time next year, guys. Peace out.